Hey everyone, Florida Man here, giving you guys a December update. Um, this month has been an interesting one, bit of challenges. Hate to say it was a bit of a wash. I think we need to start from the beginning. I got back from Lviv at the end of November, I guess beginning of December, and during my trip to Lviv, I got seriously sick. I needed to go to the ER. There was a point when I was in my Airbnb and I thought I was probably going to die in there. Just something was not going right internally. Maybe once you've lived for a bit and you kind of understand your body, and all of a sudden something does not feel right at all. So I was a bit worried. So I got an ambulance to the ER at like 10 p.m. And they did a couple tests. They did X-rays. They did an ultrasound. They did a blood test and they didn't find anything. My appendix didn't blow up. Luckily, nothing horribly bad like that. But yeah, I wasn't feeling good. So once I got back to Venezia, I started seeing doctors here, had some more tests done, had two operations. They put some cameras in me from multiple angles. And pretty much so far, it seems like there's nothing too serious to be concerned about. Might have been some sort of bacterial infection. Like I said, I remember a while ago, I was in Kiev with some friends and we had some shashlik and they said it looked a little undercooked. So we stopped eating it. And then the next day, I remember throwing up and other stuff. And I thought, just food poisoning, give it a couple days. But then I guess it never fully went away. Might be in combination with not the best diet. I mean, I eat pretty well. I'm not a chronic drinker. I don't drink excessively like every day. But if I meet people and there's celebrations here in Ukraine, you should probably know there's a lot of drinking. It's not constant drinking, but it's usually heavy drinking if you do meet people. So maybe my body could just not handle it. And after this, it was like, all right, everything's got to shut down for a bit. So my time in Lviv, it really impacted it a bit. It was kind of like, it was like multiple times during my trip. I was like, I just got to rough it out once I get back to Venezia. I have my friends help me take me to the doctors and all this, it's kind of, a little scary idea of going to a doctor, foreign country, don't speak the language. Not having any friends around that can help you. Luckily here in Venezia, I got lots of great friends who helped me out when I came back. But that was a bit of an issue when I was in Lviv, medical emergency, stuff like that. But fortunately, nothing happened. I survived. Thought I was going to throw up in front of some people from time to time. I had a meeting, a bit of an important meeting I need to do. And the second I shook that guy's hand, I was like, Ben, you need to go. You need to get out of here. You're going to throw up on the dinner table. Luckily, that did not happen. So I was able to pass my constitution tests and, went back to Venezia. The blackouts did not help. Having blackouts, being cold, having food poisoning, having to fast a lot of times. I had to give a lot of blood tests and other tests. And of course, my vehicle, once I got back to Venezia, it didn't work. So then, I had to get towed to electrician. It was a whole ordeal, and of course, it goes all the way back to those freaking dogs that chewed my power cables. One of the cables got loose, and so it wasn't providing power. So that was the only issue. It was an easy fix, but it was very inconvenient to find the fix. So you guys probably tell it's Christmas Eve today. Decided to make this. Head into the village for Christmas. Talk about Christmas too a bit, but yeah, so before I get into that, but just a current update about everything that's going on at the forge and whatnot. Yeah, it's been a bit of a wash even for Roman and them. They've had power outages. It was too cold. From what I understood, they were explaining to me the machine, it couldn't deal with certain cold weather climate conditions, and that they had to like limit its use, or like it couldn't just do a cold start because it was too cold sometimes. So their production was even low. So I haven't had to spend that much money on the forge this month. I've spent some, but not much. I'll probably buy another thing of rebar, but that's it. But on the good side, we have reached 300,000 staples. We've made over 300,000 staples at the forge, thanks in large part to you guys. You guys now are the main financiers of these staples. You guys are the ones who get these staples made. It's a big bone for us, for Ron and Dina. They no longer have to worry about trying to find the funds, fundraise, or having to force soldiers to pay money to buy or to get the staples. And their funds now are being used for the burners. And also, I have some other projects going on. I've met some other people over my time here for the past couple months. And some of your guys' money is now going to another workshop. They make some other items. They make some pretty interesting items. I can't say all the items they make, but some of the items they make are pretty useful to the military. Some of them are decoy items. They make decoy mortars. They make other decoy weaponry, which is used to just, hopefully to get enemies to waste, valuable ammunitions on these decoy items that only cost $30 to make. They also make trench candles, make some other metalworking stuff, but that's something for another video. So some of your guys' funds now is going to help those guys as well, because we're going well with the Forge right now, and the Forge pretty much was a bit of a slow month. So I was like, all right, we can help you guys out, and we can put some money towards there. And I think that's kind of what my goal is going to be, guys. I mean, unfortunately, this war is never ending, and it's hunger for supplies and material and money. And people always ask me, Ben, how much money, do you need to get everything running? And of course, for the Forge, it kind of fluctuates. It's around between $1,500 to $2,000 a month. But the thing is also, I've met many people who have many projects, and I can help them with their projects. But the problem is, I don't want to commit to saying I'm going to help you every month financially, and then I don't know, my monthly donations right now is around $2,000, guys. So if it's a bad month or if there's a good month, that's one of the issues I have to think about. I don't like to promise that I'll cover everything. And there's some other projects too, some civilian projects. The orphanage I visited in Lviv, I talked to them. I'll be going to them next month, going to one of their camp sessions. That looks really promising. Honestly, I really like what's going on there, and I would like to help them out more. Obviously, I have my one organization that I help out with. They're doing some of it, but even then, they have so many projects that maybe I want to help out with that. So, sorry, brain's going all over the place here. I'm trying to get back on track. What's been done on December? So December also, what we did in December, filed paperwork for my NGO for the U.S. I've started work on my website. The website's pretty much done. I'm just waiting for the U.S. for the paperwork for Florida Corporation, the Department of Corporations for Florida, to hand me back my paperwork, saying that's good to go. And then my site will be up. And then I just need to get an EIN number for the bank. And then donations could start coming in, and then I need to apply for nonprofit status, 501c3 status. But while you're filing for that status, you can receive donations, and you can have it logged in for tax-deductible purposes. But unfortunately, that's not going to be done this year. That's going to be done next year. So tax year of 2025, if any U.S. donators, you want to hold on a little bit, it'll be able to tax-deductible if everything works out. So yeah, got the website pretty much set up. The Ukrainian one is almost set up too. And once that's set up, I can start reaching out to some organizations in Ukraine that do volunteer stuff, that try to find volunteers, and I can hook them up with them so we can start reaching out, trying to get more volunteers for the Forge. Besides that, I get a dry throat now in the winter, man. Let's see. Besides that, what else? Heading back to the States in April, have a fundraising event set up. That's more info for that. It's coming down the line. But yeah, I'll probably spend about a month in the U.S. in April to do fundraising for my organization. By then, everything should be set and golden. So it should work out really well there. I plan on probably bringing back some souvenirs. It'll be an event. The big thing, I have a big event that's going to be working with. Talked to some other guys in the U.S. They have a company. They do tactical training lessons. So I'll be meeting them, and then we'll be having an event together, and the proceeds from that event are going to go to the Forge. Not just the Forge, but the U.S. organization, which then goes to the Forge and to other projects I have in mind. So everything's looking good, guys. Honestly, everything's looking good. I'm just really disappointed in myself with how shitty I was with my health and letting bad stuff happen. Tangent, I guess, another tangent, U.S. healthcare. God. It is a really fucking stupid thing, because I chose not to go see a doctor for 3 weeks. After Kyiv, I got the food poisoning. I didn't feel too good. And the US, pretty much what you do is you just rough it out. I didn't have health insurance in the US. I had it once in a while. I got it through Affordable, but then the deals, the premiums and everything was so bad. I was what was I paying? I think I was paying $350. My premium was $350 a month. My deductible was $10,000. And, they only pay for half of it after that. So I was just like, you know what? I'll just save that money. I'll just put it into the market, and, I'll use that money instead. Better if something bad happens to me. So it's horrible, honestly. It is like a real bad problem in the U.S. I'm not going to get into the CEO and all that debacle, but yeah, it sucks in the U.S. So I just had that mindset. I wasn't feeling good, and like even in Lviv, I was like, I don't want to call an ambulance. I called an ambulance once, or I had an ambulance take me once, and when I was in Florida, it took me 5 blocks, and the bill I think was close to $2,000. That was like the most expensive Uber ride I've ever had. In Lviv, it was free. It was all free. I didn't pay anything. I wasn't even like a John Doe. I gave him my IDs and everything, and they said, all right, you're good to go. I just left. I didn't pay a single goddamn bill that day. I had x-rays, ultrasounds, blood tests. They were going to freaking shoot me up with some painkiller. I said, no, thank you. The guy the doctor was pretty good. It was funny. He asked me first what was wrong in Ukrainian, and I tried to explain it to him in Ukrainian. He was like, oh, we could try English. I was like, fuck, we could speak English this whole time. So, the doctor spoke English. The nurse wasn't too competent. He was night shift, missed the vein with the painkiller. And I was like, you know what? I think I'm good without the painkiller. Don't try the other time. But yeah, I mean, they got the test done. All the machinery is the same. They showed me the results. And it was free. In the US, oh my God, that whole experience was probably going to be $10,000. So, and of course, once I got back to Venetia, I saw the doctors. I've had multiple tests. I had 2 operations. Everything so far has been under $500. I think I haven't kept proper count, but yeah, it's probably around $350 to $400 right now. And I think that's it. I just need to be healthy. Stop, make sure if I meet any of my friends again, to watch how much I drink. But, yeah, I feel real bad about that because that put a lot of my projects on hold. I mean, I was just miserable. I was not happy, sitting in a cold room, hungry, no power. And you're like, dude, what am I doing? Why am I here? So it took a while, but I feel like I'm back on track again, at the end of the year. So I'm happy. Everything's working out again. We have plenty of stuff to do. I talked about a Max project. I feel really bad about this guy. This guy is way overdue. It's been a drone I've been working on. Mac wanted me to make him a drone that could carry his big old bomb. So I got a hexcopter, but it's been a big issue for me because I've had to design a lot of stuff for this guy. I thought it was going to be relatively simple. It is not. Everything you see here, these are just the first little guys. I've had to make a contraption for the bottom here to hold the actual bomb bit. Lots of measurements and other stuff. Had to get a different, oh my gosh, words are not clicking right now. Pilot control system. Oh, is it FC? Why do I want to say FC? I don't think FC is the right word. Yeah, I had to get a Speedy Bee. The original guy on there wasn't right. Had to put in a new VTX. Had to design stuff to hold the VTX. I have a couple other small stuff. Honestly, like the hardware stuff, that's not the problem for me. That's easy. It's designing all this stuff. Literally everything here I've designed by my own hands. I've had to go on Blender, and then I've added on like a CAD modular tool onto it so I could, or CAD, is it CAD design? Yeah. Go on there and start working on these guys by hand. And actually, you know what? I kind of really like it. It's something I found out that I really enjoy now. I actually like going on and spending a good portion of my day working on designing, things I could print on a 3D printer that I can physically attach to things and actually see it work. It's really cool. It's something I've really found that I really enjoyed. And also it gives me an idea too for fundraising too, or for you guys, those interested in supporting me. I have a Buy Me Coffee page. On Buy Me Coffee, you can post videos, you can post other stuff, you can have download links. Obviously, there are certain items I am not going to put on there because I do not want to be on lists, and that's a very quick way for my thing to get demonetized. But if you guys want this camera mount, I mean, this is just a drone camera mount. It's the one I use for Ukraine. It's even got the Trident on there. See? I could put this guy up and you guys can download it and put it on your drones if any of you guys fly drones. Sorry there. Ooh, I haven't been talking for a couple days, just been in my shop. But yeah, I think that could be an interesting way to kind of give back to you guys. Honestly, I guess I go into this, the fundraising and everything, with the Christmas coming here, being thankful. A little depressed on Christmas time, being a caregiver for 6 years for a terminally ill mom. You know that you only have so many more days with people or so many holidays with people. This is the second Christmas without her now. And also being in a foreign country, not having family members to be around, old Christmas traditions, can't really celebrate them. But I've made a lot of great friends here. I've made a lot of great people, and you guys too. You guys are making everything work. Honestly, like it's really nice how like people ask me like, "Oh, what do you want for Christmas?" But I was like, I don't need anything. I got everything I want. I have supporters who help me finance all the operations that we do here so we can keep doing great stuff. I have friends who can help me if I have problems physically around here. Oh my gosh, thank you so much, Julia. I mean, doctors, oh my gosh, how many doctor's appointments, having someone there to speak with me, to communicate, to help me with all that stuff. My vehicle, thank you very much. Oh, gosh. Yeah, just so many people have helped me out, all this stuff, and it's like, that's the stuff you really got to be grateful for. Like I said, I'm going to the village later today to have Thanksgiving Eve dinner. That's the big holiday for Ukrainians. I call like Roman and Dina my like surrogate family, my Ukrainian surrogate family. They feed me, they take care of me, they're very concerned about me. I'm very concerned about them. I was really scared actually on Thanksgiving Day. There was a rocket attack. Lots of rocket attacks all across Ukraine. And rockets actually landed pretty close to where they lived. I had one of my friends asked me, he was like, Ben, have you talked to the Roman and Dina recently? I was like, no. Why? So there's a rocket attack. I was like, what? So I called them up, and yeah, that was a sinking feeling to think about. Something could have happened because, I thought they would have called me, let me know. But yeah, luckily everything was fine. So yeah, thank you guys. Enjoy your Christmas holidays, or, whatever holiday you celebrate during this time of the year with your family and friends, because you don't get too many of them. All right, guys. Florida Man out.